So I know when you got into this and you were finding your way, you worked closely with buyers rather than, trying to get every market opinion you physically could. You saw a real avenue with buyers. Do you think that was part of your success?
It was all my success.
Yeah, right.
When I looked at everybody else, they were all cold calling, magnets, calendars, door knocking, the usual stuff.
Yes.
But they weren't getting anywhere. And there was 5 of them doing that.
Yeah.
So I thought, I've got nothing to lose here. If they're zigging, I don't have to zag and do the opposite. And they were all saying to me, you're wasting time with the buyers, we need sellers. But if you think about it, anybody who wants to move today would go and check out somewhere to go first.
Yeah.
And when they reach the agent, they're like, go to the open, not interested. So the first energy deflection happens where they think, these guys are all the same. So I'd say, are you available at 3:15 on Tuesday afternoon? They go, yeah, what have you got? Got a couple of things I want to show you. I'd pick them up from their place, which means I got to see the front of their home. I had central locking, so I could drive them around the area. And I'd interview people, but the key was picking them up from their home. They're an owner of the next dwelling I'm going to list. But back then, if I went in just to do the listing presentation, I probably would have lost it. I didn't have the skills to just be a great presenter. That came later.
So you formed a relationship with them?
Well,
and then they...
Yeah, by using the buyer management time, gave them an opportunity to warm up to me for skills I didn't have in that first hour. So I used to be against some big principals all the time that still list and sell today, very good agents.
Yeah.
And they would beat me. They've got more knowledge than I, they've been around longer than I, they sponsor everything, they had capital, I had nothing, I was wearing my school shoes. It wasn't easy to beat and conquer these people.
Yeah.
Until I found serving their buy needs, and it just happened so fast. But I'd have a lady out looking at property and she'd go, Lee, really appreciate your time today. I've enjoyed speaking with you. And she'd live in a beautiful home in like Lincoln Avenue or something. And I'd drop her off in my little Corolla because we had a company car. And she would say, look, I'd like to work with you on this. When could you come through our property and let us know what it's worth? And I learnt that getting invited in the door was completely different to getting in the door.
Completely.
Because everyone can get you in the door and use you on price. What's your fee, what's your price, and I'll go with the cheapest. But being invited in...
Was that a real story?
100%.
Were you nervous when she said come in?
I was a massive house. I walked around going, oh, how's this thing? It was like, it had a wine cellar, I'll never forget it. I'd never been in a wine cellar like that. It was all this special temperature and everything. I'm like, oh, my bedroom's not as big as your wine cellar. Did you list it? Listed it, went to auction, failed, didn't sell at auction, stuck with me, then we sold it again after the auction.
Fantastic.
But it was given the chance, but they became very close clients of mine because they referred me on. But she was just over real estate agents.
Yeah.
All the ones that thought they should get a house like hers and we sell this type of thing, she's like, I just don't like he's a human being.
Yeah. Comes back to the people deal with people, doesn't it?
Well, my whole first year was about, give him a go.
Yeah.
He's all right. That was pretty much my first year.
Needs new shoes.
That's right.
So,
give him a go. He needs shoes.
So why did you go into training? Like, you were very successful at real estate, and I'm sure if you went back into real estate, you would be number one wherever you were. What made that mental shift for you? Like, what was the pull in that direction?
It was very clinical, actually.
That's not like you.
Yeah, I know. Well, my numbers are going up every year, and everything's on a climb.
Yeah.
But I actually worked out back then it's the reason why anyone changes. And it's not money. I was earning big money. I bought 5 investment properties. I couldn't believe what was getting paid. My mum used to say, have they taken the tax out? It was just ridiculous time at my age to be earning that money. And I couldn't believe what they would pay you for helping 24 people move in 3 months. It was like, wow, this is what you get. Because the year before that I was a plumber. I earned more than a quarter and I did my whole year there.
Yeah.
And it was really unusual. So it wasn't a money thing. A lot of people move over money.
Yeah.
But because I hit it young, that wasn't the issue. Now, the reason why anyone moves is lack of stimulation.
That's interesting.
Like when you don't lose a listing for 3 months.
Yeah.
And you're the number one salesperson again, and it's the fifth year in a row of the award, and your name's on it 5 times, you start to get a bit...
What next?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I didn't want to open a real estate office because that would have meant competing against the company I work for. And they were family to me. I couldn't do that. Rod Jones was my mentor, all the people in there. That would have been an awful situation if I worked against the family. And that culture, I just wouldn't do it. Anyway, I was asked to do a training workshop by a wonderful lady by the name of Elizabeth White. She was the general manager of the First National Group. And she said, Lee, we're sick of trainers. They're all saying the same stuff. They've been out there in ages. We want a practitioner to talk. I said, love to do it. And I would have been about 26 about that time. and they announced this workshop, and it sold out. It was called the Advanced Listing Workshop.
All 10 seats got filled?
All 10. That was 30, don't exaggerate. And it sold out, and then she goes, we want to do this on a national tour. And I thought, national tour? I was getting $1,000 a talk. They were flying me in. I was allowed to order anything at the restaurant. I'd made it.
Yeah,
this is
Bon
it.
Jovi's arrived.
Robbie Williams, I'm out there. So I did this tour, and I just realised practically people don't have street skills. All the trainers, especially... So there's lots of professional trainers who can take you through exercises and what you should do. But you know yourself, when you lose a listing that you really thought you had and you're now ready to break into tears in the car, no one can explain that. Or you get that call, you were the next best, and you're like, swear I had that. She was going to name kids after me, she loved me, and now she's not going with me. That did me in.
Yeah.
And it used to make me fight back, and you'd lose a listing and you get better. So when I got into the workshops, their questions, and I've always been very good at objections. You throw me any objection, I can answer it straight away. Why? I've just had so many of them for every single reason there is.
Yeah.
And the members or the tribe, the people in the workshops really enjoyed this different kind of training. So I did that tour, I did another tour, then I used to train on a Thursday while I was still selling for 2 years, which was difficult for me. I went down to 4 days a week selling, but my numbers didn't drop. But I learned something. When I was training, it made me a better salesperson because I couldn't be coaching and say, look, you need closing questions, opening comments, concept dialogue and visuals, and then go back in a lounge room and not have that. That would mean it's fake, you're a liar, you're telling me, but I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't deliver the message the same as well when you're training to people if you're not doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'd get back into the lounge rooms after doing training for a day, and God help the owners. They'd want to sign up and go, you sure got no objections? You sure you don't want to think it over?
Test me,
test me out. And then I just really enjoyed that doing it, training it, doing it, training it.
Yeah.
And then the second thing that happened was I wasn't allowed to have my own professional assistant. I was carrying 35 vendors by myself. And this sounds like a strange thing, but I could have 10, 15 people waiting to come on the market, and I got 35 on the market. So I was never short of stock. So fees was never an issue. And people always say this about me. You charge that rate when everyone was so lower. It's not that I did that. I had so many people ready to come on the market that I just never took the other work.
Yes.
See, many people would say to me, oh, look, it's yours if you do it 2%.
Yeah.
But when you've got 10 people or 15 people want to pay you 2.9% with marketing, you can't say yes to those jobs.
Of course.
So I had my own pipeline coming in, and people ask me this all the time, but you can't always get your fee. It's not a fee issue, it's a prospecting issue. If you've got enough good people coming through, you can't take the work on below value either.
Yeah.
And people think, it's what I say, it's my scripts and dogs, my listing presentation. It's actually a prospecting issue.
Just the last question. What makes you, I mean, everyone, or most people would say you're the country's best real estate trainer. What makes you the best real estate trainer? What do you think that is? There's many out there.
There is many out there. I still enjoy salespeople. Like, I speak to salespeople all day, every day. I'm usually in a workshop with anywhere from 50 to 200 of them. And they're my mates, I suppose. Whereas some trainers think salespeople are quite dysfunctional human beings, and they can train them, but that doesn't mean they agree or understand them. I'm a salesperson. So when I get a question, or they say, what would you do here? They're asking a mate who happens to have the knowledge. But I'm still passionate about the sales training industry. And lots of people say, why haven't you done more leadership work? Too young. Like, you look at all the leadership work I've done with, like, The Art of Survival, Inside the Bunker, What's Possible in Property Management. I interviewed the serious, mature veterans of this industry because I think they do have the knowledge. And they may range from 55 to 65, and I have a huge respect for their knowledge. So I do leadership with them, but I don't claim to be them. And yes, I'm a sales coach, but like you, I'm a small business owner. I've got 12 of my own staff. I run a business which is full on. Premises and staff and people. I enjoy being a business owner, but my preferred work is as a creative director in sales. So when someone rings me up with a problem, I love that. I love solving that.
I'm hearing that, like, you naturally become the best. Obviously, you're good at what you do, but because you're so passionate about what you do...
And I still research it. I think that's the other issue. Like, lots of people are talking about, I don't know, they did a workbook or a book 12 years ago and they're still talking about that. Yet I'm still on assignment for companies where they'll say, Lee, for example, I've just built 4 corporate listing presentations for good companies.
Right.
Hawking Stewart was one, Stockdale and Lego, First National is another one I'm about to do, and then the actual complete selling plan for the academy. So that requires me to get straight back in front of the salespeople, what's working, what's not, what you're doing, what you are, and I enjoy that engineering of today's products.
Yes.
But you've got to be still in the street players. Like I'm involved still in about 10, 15 sales a week, where someone will ring up, say, this has happened, the vendor said this, the buyer's saying that, what should I say next? Go back to that and say, you want permission to go back. I need the permission from the owner.
Yeah.
You're going to say to the actual owner, I need your permission to sell this buyer another property.
Yes.
And be it dialogue or scripts. So I'm still in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I just work on a hovercrafting, helicoptering over the entire nation. And Perth's so different to Melbourne. Melbourne's completely different to Sydney. Broome scares me. But I like that variety of salespeople. But I think in anything, to answer your question, if you're passionate about it and you're interested in it.
Right.
See, lots of people use training as a cash cow for their other businesses. I don't do that. We're professional trainers. And I think the difference in that is, like some people work in real estate and do some training.
Yeah.
We make our full living out of training. We employ 12 staff out of training. We don't do it on the side as a bit of fun. We're professional trainers. And there's not many professional training companies in Australia. Lots of people who talk, but they have another business that keeps them going.
Yeah. Would you say passion is the number one attribute for success?
I would, with some hunger backing that. There's lots of passionate... You know when The Secret
You mean
came
passionate? Yeah.
out? Like, no offence to The Secret, but how many times you wish about it, I don't believe it'll happen. It might have some change in your mind for a moment, but structurally you've got to get into the actions.
So the hunger creates the actions?
Well, the hunger makes you do the actions.
Right.
Because like some people say, I want to be Matt Steinwede.
Yeah.
I want to be on Hot Topics. I want the glossy white book and do a system.
Yeah.
But they won't get in at 5 o'clock in the morning and read and study and read the goals and then hit that phone non-stop.
Yeah.
That's the action. That's the hunger.
Right.
Remember you rang me one morning. It was about 6:30 in the morning. I don't think I was awake, but you were. Anyway, you said something. I said, you're at work. You said, I'm not mucking around. And I think a lot of people muck around.
Yes.
And I think that the best decision you could ever make is to say, I'm going to get serious about this. I'm going to make structural change in my career, which means I'm going to get a professional prospecting program. I'm going to have a dwellings database. That's structural versus hope I get listings.
Right.
The hope stuff drives me mad.
You can be passionate about getting listings, but the hunger drives you to implement all the things you need to.
That's it. Well, in 2009, our business got hit hard when people stopped training. We went on, in the budgets of 2009 for companies, they scrapped Tim Tams and then training. And what did we do? Every one of us in the company hit the phones and started prospecting. Well, we prospect every day, but tripled the prospecting.
Yeah.
We're all on the phone.
All hands on deck.
And I even had one staff member back there saying, well, I don't want to make calls. Well, we're going to miss you around here because we're all about to hit the phones.
Yeah.
If you've got a voice, you're on the phone.
Yeah.
And that's street playing, though.
Yeah.
And I reckon that time was the best time for us. We learnt more about ours than ever.
Awesome interview. I could talk to you all day, Lee, like many people would love to. So if you've got any comments for Lee underneath the video post, put them up there. I'm sure he might answer them in his busy schedule, maybe. And I really, really enjoyed catching up with you today.
Thank you, Matt.
So really the question is for you guys out there today is, what does success mean to you and what are you going to do about your success? Hope you have an excellent day, and thanks again, Lee.
Thank you.